Hello friends, family, and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level best of 5 of StarCraft 2. Today, between herO in the bottom right spawning as our pink Protoss player, and in the top left as our red Zerg. It is Solar, of course, here in a Protoss versus Zerg on the new maps, on the new patch. As they start speaking Korean, which I do not speak. How annoying, how frustrating for me. Oi, 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 oi. We have a quick probe scout coming out of herO. This is meant to block his opponent's natural. As I think Solar is fairly well aware of the fact that herO does this about 80% of his games. Man, they type real fast. Holy crap. How can they do anything during all of that? herO just sneakily patrolling his probe over here. It's going to go up to start harassing some mineral patches pretty soon. Yep, there we go. And at home, nothing too weird going on. Gonna be waiting for the first building for Solar to be constructed, which most likely will be an extractor into that pool. So standard opener here. Only thing that Solar needs to be careful of is things like double adept pressure. Even just a single adept pressure can sometimes be a little bit difficult to deal with if your bases are split. Of course, you need units in every single base. Your queens aren't together either. So yeah, there's definitely some difficulties there. We'll have to wait and see what the actual plans for herO are going to be in this game, in this series overall. herO has shown a very diverse palette of build orders. Ooh, he messed up his first pylon positioning, and now we'll need to use a natural boundary to create a wall. So the next building is going to be over here, because I think this is 7 hexes. So a pylon provides 6 hexes of building, and a gateway requires 3. So you can put 2 gateways side by side, and that you can't build anything else anymore. And because this is, well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, most likely, or most definitely 7. The gateway will have to be here, and the natural wall will need to be used as a boundary. This often means that if herO isn't paying attention and Solar is, Solar can actually bug through the wall by quickly clicking Zerglings behind it. So that does pose a threat later on in the game, especially. Early on, often, it doesn't seem to matter so much. Or, of course, if you put a Stalker in the wall, it also doesn't matter. Stalkers are a little bit fatter than Adepts. That's not the body shame, that's just the truth. And you know, Stalkers can also fit through, they can't fit through certain holes where Adepts can fit through. So, you know, it's just the truth, my friends. The truth can hurt, but it also sets you free. If there's a Stargate over here, 33 out of 43, it means it's going to be done pretty fast. We have a Ling trying to get into the main base, wanting to get a scout in. Ooh, look at his Adept. His Adept is going for some damage. Is it going to get the damage is the real question. I don't know. I don't actually know if it's going to get anything done here. Solar should see it right now. Is he responding? Not yet. And that is going to be, well, 1 Ling being taken out, and that's going to be it. At the same time, this Stalker starts shooting on the Overlord, trying to take it out, but it's on the pervert spot where he can look in, but you can't look at it. Yeah, this is a terrible wall, but it's fine. I can live with it. There's a Stalker, so should be fine no matter what. There we go. Not so sure if this Overlord's gonna end up dying. Probably though, right? Gonna need to do some good movement here with the Stalker, that's for sure. Oh, Ling's coming in as well, trying to get this Stalker to chase it, but ain't going to happen. Overlord goes down, Ling gets in though, and we'll get a scout. That is somewhat important. Almost want to activate the pulsar beam for it. Where I'm like, oh, why not, you know? Because right now, Solar is going to know what is happening. He sees, wait, only a single Oracle? This is a really weird build order, honestly. Fast Twilight Council. Forge as well. No second Oracle. Alright. You got my attention. You got my attention, Solar. That is so weird. Or sorry, herO, you got my attention. Because this is just a really uncommon move. Oracles do great in pairs because they can one-shot drones, they can one-shot Lings. Okay, there is going to be a second Oracle. It's so late. Holy crap. I mean, Solar knows that something off is going on here. Question is, what will the follow-up be? Second Forge, herO bringing it back. Oh yeah, baby. Double Forge action over here with straight charge rather than Blink. We saw Blink start and then immediate cancel into charge. So herO, not quite sure what he wanted to do either, is going to end up opting for the charge lots. And we might see a little bit of a charge lot move out as well, but it's also completely possible that it's just going to be a little bit more defensive. Link's trying to poke in, will not get anything done. Now Link's over towards the fort, maybe. No. The question, of course, is herO going to take a really fast fort base on 4 gases, or is he going to stay on 3 bases longer with a higher gas count, going into Archons, perhaps even Disruptors? All of these things are possible. As well, so far this looks pretty okay for Solar, because he hasn't taken any real damage from anything, really. I mean, 4 Links have gone down and 2 Tumors, but for a 4 Adept investment and 2 Oracles, I'm pretty okay with that if I'm the Zerg player here. I am pretty darn okay with it. Here come the Oracles once more and once more. They don't really get anything done. Stasis Ward is going to be built in range of this Spore, and that goes down. First Oracle falls. Solar right now in a fabulous spot, honestly. Can really do anything he wants in the next minute and a half. There's no major threat coming his way. I mean, this is fabulous. This actually is fabulous here for Solar. And he seems to be wanting to build a lot of roaches. I'm not sure if these are defensive roaches or if this is some type of an attack. We do have the range upgrade. This feels like a roach max almost. 67 drone roach max. An uncommon build order, but a build order that especially the Koreans like to mix in every now and again, just to punish those greedy players that skip the robotics bay for too long. Templar Archives is on the way, of course, here for these Archons, and maybe a little bit of a push out as well. 4 Adepts make their way across the map. Here comes a 4 Zealot drop as well, as the Blink research gets started immediately. We have +2, we have armor, and I am not entirely sure what's happening here. This is a very odd build order out of herO. Lots of focus on these upgrades, lots of focus on tech, not too much of a focus here on any units, and there's a lot of roaches out already. Current supply is 146 against 101. These roaches will need to start moving back in home as these queens in the Spore try to push away this prism. Sentry gets a force field off on the ramp. Do we get a sniper? I don't think we get a snipe at all. That is absolutely not going to be a snipe, right? If any of these queens makes it up into the main base, yeah, that's going to be safe. All of these zealots will end up dying, and there's still a roach max that herO will need to deal with. Is the first disruptor out? No, this is the first disruptor. Oh wow, that's trouble. Wait, where are you, Mr. Robo? Over here, the 3rd base. Okay, I dig that, I dig that. Cannon's going down, so herO is aware that he's being all in, which, to be fair, it's really difficult not to be aware if you see 35 roaches attacking your 4 zealots in the main base. Here comes the first disruptor shot. Solar needs to micro against it. Extremely important that these disruptors do not deal the damage that they want to. Perhaps the ability to one-shot it. Oh, Solar. Sloppy move there. Ends up losing almost 6 roaches to a Purification Nova, and then a couple more to boot. And we do have a bunch of these roaches going into the main. That's about 10. Gonna need some warpins either in the main or the naturals. The Oracle's also heading back in home. This is of course still 1-1 upgrades against only +1. So a slight upgrade lead here for our good friend herO, who does not have the super battery available anymore. Here comes the next disruptor. Oh my god, Solar decides that micros for losers and hasn't microed a single unit so far, it seems like, this game. Losing roach after roach after roach against these Purification Novas, but probably not even going to end up mattering at all. Still 161 against 99 supply, 94 army supply against 40 army supply. Yes, there is an Oracle still alive that can deal some damage, but honestly, unless these next shots all... Well, if they all hit like that, then all of a sudden there's a chance, but... That was like another 10 kills or so with one Purification. This has been insane. 53 roaches have gone down in this game already. Some of the worst control I've seen out of any Zerg player in quite a while. This has not been good at all. Solar has been messing this up with this roach max. This should have never happened. Not like this. He was so far ahead. He was up 80 supply and just ate every single Purification Nova straight in the face. He just took it on the chin. And that was just not it. Here comes a Ling run by in towards the main base. At the same time, roaches try to push up here, but now the upgrades for herO are actually kicking off. It's going to be 2-2 against just a pure +1. That's a 3 upgrade lead. Sadly for herO, there are a couple of Links in the main base. We'll take out a bunch of these workers. I might even try to fight off these stalkers, but I guess the upgrades do reign supreme in the end. We have a Spire on the way. Rather than adding drones, we see Solar just saving a lot of gas, specifically for Mutalisk. And I'm not a huge fan of it. Stalkers with upgrades tend to perform quite well against Mutalisk, and on top of that there's no Banelings out, which means that this Gateway army right now is actually very powerful. There's nothing that trades well against this Gateway army with these upgrades, as there's simply no Banelings out. 13 Mutas popping out, and I'm hoping for Solar that herO is going to stay on 4 bases, get 8 gases and 85 workers, and then maybe considers an attack. But I know herO a little bit. herO mostly, he's thinking of moving out already. He's like, hey, I feel like I'm actually in somewhat of a lead. I feel like I have the ability to do something good here for the world. Why don't they just move out, as this Prism almost gets sniped by these Mutas. Mutas definitely need to go around. Cannot be of any use in these fights here. First Muta gets sniped. Yeah, more Mutas on the way. That's going to go up to what? 20? 18 Mutas. 18 Mutas are going to be out. That's 3,600 resources of pure uselessness. And now Solar tries to go for a base trade, gets half of his roaches caught in the middle of the map. And I mean, this is just not good at all here for Solar. Losing Muta after Muta. 5 more on the way. Roach is being destroyed here by these zealots. Blink forward. Also going to deal a lot of damage. +3 about to finish up for herO. The moment that hits, it's going to be, well, like legitimately 4 upgrade lead for our Protoss player. And that's not good for Solar at all. That is... Some could even consider that to be quite bad. Can we get another warp in here? I think there's plenty of cash, but maybe you want to do the warp in at home instead. I mean, with a battery, 2 cannons, and 10 stalkers, you're going to be just fine with these upgrades. Yeah, I'm just trying to fight. This is not going to be it. I think herO just won this game. He definitely just won this game, as Solar still coping. GG gets called. herO wins game number 1. We'll be heading into our second map. Grassfen is going to be that second map here in Solar versus herO. So, no block this time coming out of herO. So you see the hatchery proud in the natural. The drone still swimming inside. It's like an annoying construction process with these quick turns, always to the left as well. This guy must be getting real dizzy. I remember once I went on holiday and we had one of these spinning machines, you know, where you have to turn like a wheel in the middle and the thing starts spinning like mad. I don't think I've ever felt as nauseous as I felt after sitting into that thing for like 20 minutes. Now, I assume a hatchery, despite it saying 71 seconds, this is not real time, right? This is a simulation. Probably takes longer to build. I bet this drone is proper dizzy. I bet when this drone turns into the hatchery, he's happy that he doesn't have to turn to the left anymore. I think that's what's happening. He'll never want to go left ever again. All drones are known to be extremely right-wing. Is it actually true? Not a lot of people know this. You wouldn't see it from the drone, but it is completely true. And here they turn to the right. You see that? No, this one turned to the left. Down turn to the right. God. What a concept. I wonder when the StarCraft 2 people were drawing this, you know, and animating it, if they ever thought that people would analyze it in this type of detail. I don't think they did. Don't think anyone ever thought that we were going to figure out the political leaning of the drone. But I just did. God, I'm so good at this game. An actual lore master. This is the hidden lore that not a lot of people know about. Okay, what else do we have here? We have a couple of links out. Once again have, a link hidden. Double Overlord. If you know you're playing against someone that likes double Overlord, you know what you can do? You can get a Void Ray and you can snipe 2 Overlords. It feels really, really good to do that. Can I just say that? I think that is one of the best feelings of the pros, when you go Void Ray first and you snipe 2 Overlords, then you fly across the map. They forget to pull back this bad boy. You get a 3rd Overlord. You just feel like telling the Zerg to get out of the game, because it's really over at that point. His OV is also pretty over. It's in trouble. Oof. Toof toof. One more. I gotta need to run around, mate. That's once again, so he's gonna get in. He's gonna get in once more. This time we'll scout the fact that there's a 2nd Oracle. And honestly, this feels like a 3rd Oracle build. There's no Forge up yet, no double gases. Feels like he wants to spend his money into something else. Okay, maybe he's just not macroing that well. That also is a possibility, of course. It's completely viable. Just not macroing well. No, it's gonna be a 3rd Oracle. Wow, so... And not macroing well, and a 3rd Oracle. It's the double. Double trouble. Here, as herO, 4 minutes and 22 seconds into the game. reveals part of his plan. Often with triple oracles, we see blink out of herO. And he has a wide variety of blink build orders. Pretty much from double forge stuff, single forge on 6 gas, single forge on 4 gas. And of course, we've also seen some all-ins. Most of the time, that is not with blink, though. Most all-ins, or sorry, not with triple oracle. Most of the time, his all-ins are actually with double oracle. It's just interesting to note. A lot of workers actually been killed here. 6 drones to be exact. 2 more gates on the way. No forge yet. How interesting. Very interesting indeed, my friends. Huh. Still no forge. Okay, okay. That's a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Now, don't want to show off my counting, but I think we might have to add 2 more, which would bring the total up to 8. Yeah, 1 more. Where did you go? Okay, at the 3rd. 1 more. It's gonna proxy a gateway eventually as well. There's no pylon out on the map yet. So I guess that's going to be gateway number 8. That does make a lot of sense. Because this is definitely an all-in. Solar scouts 1 gateway going down in the main. Of course, that isn't a giveaway of what's going on, but it's still a decent clue. This gas, I mean, it is being taken, so it's not a fake gas in that way, but this gas is pretty darn fake. It's not real, you know? It's like, you don't really need it. There's already 800 gas in the bank here for herO, and he's never gonna spend it in a million years because he's planning on all-inning here. This is definitely a blink all-in. Fairly common. The moment you see that 5th gate go down, you know it's going to be a blink all-in. No one gets 5 gates before forge. It is just extremely uncommon. Even 4 gates pre-forge is extremely uncommon. A couple of these creep tumors are going to get taken out. I like this move a lot here out of herO. One creep tumor stays alive. Very frustrating. More and more stalkers being warped in. We're 640 in-game right now, and that's a lot of units out here for herO. These oracles start going to town on the links with +1 melee attacks, but it's not really going to matter. There comes the gateway, and we have 9 gateway. This is 10 gate. This is a 10 gate all-in. Okay, I'm not familiar with this. I didn't know that was possible even, money-wise. A 10 gate all-in. It's gonna get a lot of stalkers, that's for sure. It's gonna get a lot of stalkers. Every single warp in, bam, bam. It's going to be big here. I think Stalker's moving forward. I don't think the Depth Shade ended up finishing. Of course, it's a nice tool to have with you. These oracles still in the back. The moment the links try to engage, you can always use these oracles to try and take them out. 4 in the front, dealing some damage. No queen production here for Solar. Wouldn't mind seeing 3-4 queens being produced at the same time. Queen's the backbone of the Ling Bane army, of course, defensively when it comes to that. Do see a run by. I think that is a very good call. Did he just take out the cybernetic score? He did. So immediately, look at that. Very intelligent call out of herO. Starts charge and probably wants to start warping in a couple of these zealots so he doesn't start floating money. Wouldn't mind that completely. Yep, there we go. 10 zealots go down immediately. All of those in the natural as well. That means that these lings will get taken out for free and that this wall can be plugged back in. Yeah, it's just a fantastic job that herO is doing here defensively or aggressively. Dealing a lot of damage, has some cash in the bank. Cybernetic score about to finish up as well. And the moment that the charge finishes up, I think we're looking good. But I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. We have a lot of stalkers coming in still. We have the zealots. How much is the zealot count here currently? We have 17 zealots out. Yeah, this is... Right now, I think Solar believes that he's holding, but I don't think he actually is. Doesn't have the Baneling count to deal with the zealots. If half the zealots go in towards the natural and the other zealots attack at the front, I don't think you can effectively split off Hydra Ling in order to deal with this. Here come the zealots. Banelings on the left side, blinks towards the left to function kind of as a body block here. These Banelings don't get the connections that they want, although a lot of zealots are getting lower, and it seems to me that this game is pretty much over right now. Drones falling rapidly. +2 is about to finish up here for Solar. Maybe with a couple more links you can do it, but there's still so much cash in the bank for herO. 7 Hydras, 1 Ling against 23 Stalkers, 5 Queens around as well, but They're so low, especially the ones in the front. Overlord moving in, and the moment you have to pull the Overlord, you know it's over. Solar taps out. herO, 2-0 lead, putting himself on match point in this best of 5. Royal Blood is the map for match point here for my good friend herO against Solar, who definitely needs to switch it up a little bit. Or well, switch it up. He actually did switch it up. First game he went for a roach all-in. Second game he tried to go for a more standard fast Evo chamber after seeing the third phase. Took a little bit too much damage in the early game, and then without a roach warren, it's really difficult to hold these types of pushes. I think Hydras just cost so much money, it often becomes difficult. It's probably better to even just stay on pure Ling Bane and adding queens rather than Hydras. Hydras don't really add a lot of oomph to the army, I feel like. Hydras are good in larger numbers against mass Stalker, but in small numbers, if you don't have the Ling Bane to really stand in front of it, I don't think there's much point. Yeah, I actually prefer Banelings, I think. There's the Ling Bane Queen. Really powerful combination. Queens often allow you to win a lot of time as well, and then run-bys can occur, and you can take out eco on the third base. That type of stuff is often really good against Blink-All-Ins, because going back home with a Blink-All-In pretty much always kills your momentum. As herO, once again, not with a block here on that hatchery. I'm not sure if he tried to and failed, or if he didn't try and also failed, because let's face it, fact is there is a hatchery over here. This is going to be a nice little 2-building wall out of herO. Going to allow himself to put a unit in between there and hopefully not get scouted for one. Because in the past 2 games he did completely get scouted. It's kind of the odd thing. Completely get scouted, still die. Poor Solar. He's not having a good time. First game he actually should have won. That first game, I think you can give that situation to Solar 90 more times. And he's going to win 89 times. Or like 88, 87, 86. Honestly, after seeing the micro in that game, maybe he doesn't win 80, 85% of the time, or 80, 85 out of 90. I'm not sure why I went for 90 as a number. It seems like a difficult number to work with, percentage-wise as well. Oh my god, no Stargate here for herO. Tried building it, then went back too fast. Happens to the best. Pulled the trigger too quickly. That definitely happens to the best. We have this probe just kind of chilling around. Hello, Mr. Probe. What you doing? Boom-be-dum-be-dum. Ba-da-da-da. I'm just gonna go home. Not gonna get much info. Triple hatch inline position. So there's 2 schools of thought. You have the triangle school of thought. The deltas. You have the line. The line school of thought. The line, I think, is considered to be better against glaives. The triangle, better against... against what? Maybe against oracles better? At least that's what I feel like, but I could be wrong. I know that people like to build triangle bases often. I think on this map, I don't know. It's difficult for me to decide what is best on these maps. It feels tricky. Feels tricky for sure. But no matter how tricky it is, losing a creep tumor is always gonna make it even trickier. And that's just what happened. First creep tumor went down. Stalker once again coming out here. Thanks for coming out. What this Stalker says to the Overlord as he splutters it on top of this little high ground. And bloodstains on these benches. Imagine being the maker of these. These are a weird spot as well for benches, by the way. Just go for the cheeky walk. You know, with your significant other on the battlefield, and then you can have these high-rise benches where you can, you know, look at overlords and oracles getting murdered in front of your eyes. That is the entertainment of the future, my friends. Degenerate society here. This is where the rich people sit as well, you know? They throw like... This is like when you go to an amusement park that has like a water ride, and you look in the water and it's filled with coins. That's like this as well. You know, they just throw a bit, rather than just throwing coins, they throw like entire diamonds and necklaces in as well in the water. There's also benches down here. This is a weird place. This is like a terrible amusement park, honestly. I would not go there. I think I'd prefer Six Flags or Disneyland. Disneyland is low-key very cool. I know that might be a controversial opinion here, but I think when Walt Disney finally gets unfrozen, he's going to be happy about what they've done with Disneyland. God, I can't wait for the day for Walt to come back. See what they did to his empire. Fun fact, actually, is that Mickey Mouse was originally going to be called Mortimer Mouse. Which I think Mickey is such a better choice for a first name. But maybe if they would have called him More Timer Mouse, it also would have been really sick. It's hard to say. More Timer. Very old school name though. Maybe that name would have been very popular then. Not that Mickey is a very popular name currently. It's not that I'm aware of. I wonder that if like a cartoon character takes on a name, that it becomes a very difficult name to give to a child because you're afraid of him getting bullied. I wonder, like, the moment Donald Duck became more popular, if the name Donald kind of got out of fashion. You don't hear a lot of people with the name Donald. Donald Trump, I guess. Was he born before Donald Duck was born? Donald Glover? I don't even know what he does. I know that there's a Donald Glover, though. Yeah, Donald Duck is probably the... It's not the most second famous Donald. Trump beat him. That must be sad for Walt. This is really sad for herO as well, by the way. If herO's first name was Donald, he'd be in shambles. Double. That's not going to be the case. Because I don't actually know what his first name is. I think it's Kim. Maybe it's his last name. They also said the last name first name for the United States. So this is his last name. Battery's gonna get taken out. Well, this looks pretty darn bad for herO, honestly. I mean, he's getting run around by these Lynx. Lynx has scouted basically everything, seen that it's 8 gateways. This time it's with +1. There is a prism with it as well, so this is relatively dedicated. This time there are roaches. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Because the problem here, simply said, for herO is that if herO moves out, a big run by can deal a lot of damage. Oh my god, you can't actually beat it. How is it possible that every single game Lynx get into the base multiple times? Like, surely herO knows how to hold position a unit in the wall. I guess these Lynx don't actually end up achieving all that much. It's still really annoying getting scouted time after time again. With these two. Why did he send in the Overseer? You already had Lynx in, mate. It's a waste of an Overseer. That's a perfectly fine Overseer. Actually holding down this Lynx Roach button really hard. He's going for an attack. He's attacking into a 3-base all-in currently. This is what we call a very debatable decision. Or a bad one. You could also call it a very bad decision. No matter what you call it, I don't like it. Also not a huge fan of the Spire here. I really would have preferred just seeing a Baneling Nest +2 and 12 more drones. Much rather than seeing a Spire in this position. I actually think that the best thing to do against herO seems to just to play a more solid macro game with a slightly higher drone count. I'm thinking 76, 78. The moment you see a fort base go up to 88 and tech into Hive. But until you see that fort base, I don't think it's really necessary to even do that. I mean, this just looks... This build that herO is doing does not seem to make a whole lot of sense. There's 2 prisms out. I'm not sure if that's on purpose, but if it is, that is very odd. Spire finishing up, that's going to add 28 odd supply into Solar's army, and now we see a true representation of the state of the game. And finally the supply for the Mutas gets added in. That's the beauty of saving a lot of cash for Mutas. And it's still only 74 workers, only +1 on the Lynx. Are there enough Lynx to get a full surround? I think there are actually. There's 62 Lynx, that's plenty of damage catching. Then we have some roaches added in as well. Queens coming in, moving forward, and then the Mutalisk is the cherry on top of the pie that is exploding in herO's face right now. 2 prisms get taken out in rapid succession, and these stalkers are being pushed back, or pushed into Protoss heaven. Problem not a lot of people have, being pushed into heaven. But these stalkers definitely have it. Solar wins game number 3, puts himself on the board in this series as we'll be heading into our 4th game. And that game will be played here on Ancient Cistern. Beautiful name for a map. A terrible name for a kid though. Please don't name your kid Ancient Cistern. Guaranteed to be bullied in high school. Unless, of course, the kid is really cool. I always felt like cool kids could get away with anything, you know? Play video games and you're not popular. Nerd. Play video games and you're popular, all of a sudden video games are cool. In a way, I always felt a little bit... I feel a little bit jealous of the current generation, you know? When I hear young people talking about like Fortnite and you know, other games that they play a lot. I think back of my high school period, and it was more of an exclusive group that played video games. You know, not everyone was into it. There's like 4 or 5 guys that were into like actual video games. The rest of them, I think, maybe played FIFA every now and again, but that was about it. So, yeah. Nowadays, it feels more common that people are actually into video games. Just internet in general seems to have become bigger. I remember when social media became big when I was in high school. Like Twitter, and we had a Dutch website called Hives. I think it was a little bit before high school, though. It's more like 12 to 14 or so. I guess technically for me, that was high school. Yeah. I remember not understanding Twitter at all at the time. People would just... I think Twitter at the start also was a very poor platform. Probably still is. People just saying what they were doing right in that moment. Not quite as bad as Instagram, though. Instagram is legitimately just pictures. People that I don't really know. It's a weird concept, isn't it? Instagram. Anyway, what's also a weird concept is a PvZ matchup on Ancient Cistern. Oh, no, Jesus, good lord. This is the 4th time in a row that links enter a base. I just don't understand how this is possible. Maybe herO just doesn't care. This is when someone is truly defying the odds. You know, he's an innovator. Oh my god. This is indeed very innovative. Losing mining time on 7 probes to deal with 1 ling. I'm not sure if that's the innovation that I need in my life. It's like innovating a house out of wood after bricks have been invented. It's like, well, I'm quite sure if I still want to live in that, you know, with all the fires. But I'm glad you innovated that. It seems like a legitimately bad innovation here. We have a second gateway on the way. There is most likely going to be a... Ooh, what's that? It's a double adept move out. That is actually somewhat interesting. 10 links as well popping out right now. Nexus goes down. Pylon on the way, and this probe will get blasted. Oracle looking for damage. Will not find it as Solar is in position. Our GSL Super Tournament champion. Actually playing some darn good StarCraft so far this game. Oh, and as I say that, starts losing drones like his life depends on it. Loses 3. Is forced into a full drone pool as well. There's a 3rd Oracle now on the way. We have 2 more Adepts being warped in somewhere. Not quite yet. herO, a player that loves to warp in extra Adepts. Get stuff going, you know? Gets the blood going. Moving through the body. It's like these queens are moving all across the creep. Oh, this base is extremely vulnerable. It's not just a little bit. Holy crap, this base is dead. Every single drone here is going to die. If herO decides to commit to it, he doesn't. This was the luckiest day in Solar's life. Look at this. Oh no, these drones still gonna get caught. Maybe a little bit. 1, 2... 2 drones get blasted here. 43 drones against... 43 probes against 38 drones. Second Stargate on the way. Triple OO. Is he gonna mass oracles? Oh my god, no. How is it possible? How is this possible? That every single game that this guy plays, he gets links in his main base multiple times. There's no point in scouting him because he just lets you go in. Did he just cancel that in Vision? He canceled it in Vision as well. This has been actually one of the worst games I've seen in my entire life already out of herO. Just leave a unit on hold position, for the love of God. You have a Phoenix coming in as well. Surely that guy can do something about the hold position in the wall. This has been going awful for him. I wonder what Solar's plans are. If he goes for a Nidus Queen attack, I'm going to be slightly upset. That's the one thing you don't want to be doing right now. Nidus Queen Roach. Because your opponent actually cancelled it, and you saw it. Okay, you see a Baneling Nest. Could go... No fort base yet. Solar's fort bases are extraordinarily late every single time. Baneling Hydra off of 3 bases. Okay. This is what we call an interesting move. Gas 5 and 6 finally finish up here for herO. Why is there no fort base yet here? Am I the moron? Oh, there goes an Oracle. These 2 Oracles still looking for damage. Not quite going to find it. Oh. 4 drones get taken out. And Oracle taking a lot of hull damage. We have Storm on the way. As Hydralisk are already starting. I think herO is fairly well aware of what's happening. I mean, he sees the lack of a fort base everywhere. He's like, okay, I'm just being 3 base all in. With a pretty late timing. All right. I feel like it's just worth it to build the fort base, even if it's just for the fake. And then for the larva. And then for the ability to mine with 74, 75 workers. I think Hydralink Bane attacks are good, but they're mainly good if you can hit a fort base. And it actually means something if you cancel a fort. Right now, if you cancel a fort as Solar, you don't even really care about it because you need to kill your opponent straight up. This is Hydralink Bane without any upgrades. This is as all in as it comes. Now we're getting a fort base finally, but that is a little bit late. Here come the Hydras. There's 24 links. There's going to be 16 Hydralisks. And we have 4... Okay, herO has no clue as to what's going on still. Does he? Okay, now he's gonna see it. Now he's definitely gonna see it. Oh, Hydra's just kind of ignore these oracles. I mean, it's just oracles, right? Who cares? Templar staying in the prison for now. Oh, there come a lot of these banelings. We have some cannons. We have some batteries. Another cannon on the way. +2 coming in as well. This timing that Solar is going for usually gets hit with 75, 76 workers. Every single baneling is going to get cut. Okay, 17 new ones get constructed. Centrifugal hooks about to finish up in 14 seconds. Supply for Solar is honestly pretty darn bad. This does not look good for Solar here whatsoever, as the banelings start rolling in. We have an infestation pit, an evo chamber behind this, 5 more workers. I just don't understand this. I just don't understand this. I think Solar is gonna go in. It's gonna get completely blasted here. Look at the amount of storms that we have. Unless these banelings get some big damage, and I kind of want them to attack, yeah, into one of these bases. If there's no warpins available, they could be good. There are warpins available. This could still be good. Oh, oracles dishing out a lot of damage. No upgrades, of course. There, fort base will get taken out. 6 probes went down. 8 probes went down. Make that 10. herO, the ability to counterattack is here, of course, with +1 finish, with still at least three-ish storms remaining. It feels like herO just has too many units, honestly. I mean, get one more big Zealot Warpin in and you're gonna be just fine. Yeah. Prism should be setting up into a couple of Zealots. No? This is going back and forth, back and forth. I do believe that's going to be herO that will pull the trigger in the next few moments with +2, 30 seconds away from finishing right now. This Ling run by... Well, there's 1 battery available, but could actually deal some damage if there's no warp in. Ooh, supply block. This run by could actually force herO to go all in here. Not sure if herO wanted to go all in. I think he wanted to push, but now he's going to be forced into all in. I think he's going to be fine with that. Look at those storms. Well, not really hitting all that much, actually. Still 2 storms available. Could, yep, connect with these Hydras. There we go. Stalker's being warped in right now with +2 against 0-0 units. 1 lurker gets sniped immediately. Not quite sure where that lurker then came from, but it was there indeed. These are +2 units. I mean, there's 12 Hydras, which is significant, but there's 17 Stalkers, 4 Archons, 2 Immortals, and I think this, my friends, is going to be it in this series. There's not that many workers left for herO. There's no fort base left for herO. A lot of links coming in with a flank, but the upgrades are simply not good enough for Solar. Without upgrades, no fun. Without banelings, no way to kill all of those bad boys. And Solar gets broken for a 3rd time in this series, and that means that it's game. GG gets called. Best of 5 goes the way of herO. And that is going to be it for herO, for Solar, and for me. Thanks all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time for a new video. Bye-bye.